You're very welcome along to another video. This time I'm focusing on football on TV this weekend. Yeah, I've broken up sport on TV this weekend into GAA on TV this weekend, and a lot of GAA fans just like watching that rather than the full sport. I get it. There's a lot of people that just want football. So this episode is focused on football on TV this weekend, and FYI, I focused a lot on the League of Ireland in terms of First Division games, Premier Division games, but also there's certain leagues I haven't covered for various reasons. For example, all of Serie A is on the zone, so I've just focused on TNT, that sort of thing. But pretty much the games that you can watch are going to be covered here. If there's any leagues I'm not including, or there's games you want that I've just completely forgotten, leave a comment if you can. And seen a bit of support over the last week or so in terms of YouTube subscriber numbers. There's actually 90% plus you guys aren't subscribed who watch my videos. If you can take 2 seconds, because I'm generally awful asking for this, hit that like button and subscribe completely for free. It would just mean I can continue making these videos and be much appreciated, especially early on in this endeavor. So let's focus on Friday, for example. And yeah, we're going to the Eredivisie starting at 7 o'clock Friday. Premier Sports PSV in action there. This is the 7:30 game, Bundesliga. It's live on YouTube at various YouTube channels. So what a Bundesliga have done this season, if you're unaware, that Friday night game, they're basically giving it out free for a variety of YouTube channels. I think it's on the BBC iPlayer if you're from the UK, but you can get it on a lot of YouTube channels. So search Dortmund's game versus Mainz. That's 7:30. Now, normally we'd have a full Premier League card each and every weekend, so we're in that routine. This weekend obviously is FA Cup weekend. So just so you know, for the rights, TNT have all the games, or as many games that they'd like to show as possible, but BBC are able to dual screen 2 of those games, and one of them is Hull versus Chelsea. So this is Friday Night Lights on the BBC, 7:45, but as I said, it'll also be TNT. Liam Senior going back to his former club, of course, as well. And then 7:45, it's a bit of a decent game here, not going to lie. Wrexham, who are in the hunt for the playoffs at the moment, versus Ipswich, who are looking for the automatic promotion. Both are in FA Cup action here. Their Ipswich travel away to Wrexham. That's live on TNT 5, I think it is, 7:45. So we'll run through the League of Ireland games, focus mainly on the Premier Division, but I have listed all the First Division games there, of course. Derry City, after their last gasp win versus Dundalk, that's LOITV 7:45, same time as Drogheda United versus Waterford, and Pats versus Galway United concludes the Friday 7:45 games. Now, as I've mentioned in previous video, this season Virgin Media will be showing the games live at 8 o'clock, which gives them a half an hour build up from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, and gives them half an hour to show highlights, not just from the Premier Division, but around the grounds in the First Division as well. So Shels versus Shamrock Rovers. What a game in store. That's 8 o'clock live on Virgin Media 2 while we're tuning in. And we've got La Liga action and action. There's 2 games I've listed from the Argentina division, both on Premier Sports. The first one is 11 p.m. on Premier Sports. So that's Friday. Let's go to Saturday, which is I think this will be the lightest Saturday I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, I was searching everywhere for more games. I can't seem to find any, so apologies if I missed a few, but I think the lack of EFL games, etc. Premier League obviously not in action, but Burton Albion versus West Ham United, 12:15. That's the TNT Sports game, and that's live, as I said, on TNT Sports. EFL Matches, there's a few League 1, League 2 games. That's Sky Plus, so just press the red button or the plus button on your remote. 12:30, you can get any of those EFL games that kick off at 12:30 live on Sky Sports Plus. Then we've got Espanyol versus Celta Vigo, La Liga action at Premier Sports, and then more La Liga Premier Sports action from 5:30. A game from the Bundesliga, Stuttgart versus Cologne, that's Sky Sports 5:30, and then 5:45, that's second one of those BBC games. Like I said, Aston Villa versus Newcastle, big game for Newcastle in terms of potentially saving their season with the Premier League not looking good. It's just the Champions League FA Cup left for them. 7:45, Sligo Rovers versus Bows. This is an LOITV game, and obviously Sligo play their games on Saturdays, as we know, and I do like it because it just spreads out the calendar a bit more. And speaking to a few League of Ireland fans, they did enjoy, for example, being able to watch the Bows Pats game on Sunday. Obviously, I sat through the 90 minutes of it. It was dreadful. But the choice to watch those games outside the Friday night regular slot. So that's 7:45. And the same time, Inter versus Juventus. Inter top of Serie A at the moment. They host Juventus. That's TNT Sports from 7:45. And then the FA Cup action at 8 o'clock from Anfield. Liverpool versus Brighton. And it concludes with Match of the Day. That's a little bit later time, 5 to 11, covering all the FA Cup action. Busier Sunday in store. We start with Eredivisie action on Premier Sports. That's a regular kickoff, 11:15 in the morning. So if you're looking for your football fix each and every week, Sunday morning, 11:15, Premier Sports. You'll usually find Eredivisie games. Birmingham City versus Leeds. They host Premier League Leeds on TN Sports in the FA Cup. That's live from 12. More La Liga action at 1 on Premier Sports. And then we got 3 TNT FA Cup games spread out through all the TNT Sports channels. Grimsby Wolves, Oxford versus Premier League Sunderland, and Stoke versus Premier League Fulham. Now, I'm actually going to do a separate video on this, so apologies if I'm running through it, but what a Sunday, or Super Sunday we should call it, in Scotland. We've got Kilmarnock versus Celtic and Rangers versus Hearts, both live on Sky. Sky obviously looking at that FA Cup weekend, lack of football on their channels in general. So for probably the first time all season, Scottish Premiership football is taking centre stage, so well worth tuning in for those 2 games if the FA Cup's not quite doing it for you. More La Liga action at 3:15. Arsenal versus Wigan on TNT Sports from the FA Cup. That's 4:30. Again, La Liga action at 5:30 and 8. You can see on Premier Sports. And Napoli versus Roma, massive game as well. TNT Sports 7:45. The Argentinian division continues. As I said, 10:30. You can watch Boca Juniors if that's your football fix. Live action at 10:30 on a Sunday. But if you want the regular slot of Match of the Day 2, this time focus again on the FA Cup 10:30. That concludes Football on TV this weekend. If you like the format of these videos, please let me know in the comments. If you'd like little tweaks, go through it quicker, go through it slower, in more detail, can post 2 videos on that if necessary. But let us know in the comments. Enjoy doing this and looking forward to a decent weekend of football.